Okay, we've talked about energy sources in the past. We've even toured some energy facilities.
Like a power plant.
Yeah, a power plant. What kind of power plant did we tour?
Electric.
Yeah, well, both of them were electric. They just generated electricity in different ways.
Like water.
Water was one, yes. But what's the big problem with fossil fuels?
Fossil fuel is non-renewable.
Thank you. Very good. Fossil fuels are non-renewable.
the
Eventually, they're going to run out. So right now, a lot of people are exploring different ways of getting energy. And right now, they're called alternative sources of energy. Can anyone name an alternative source of energy?
Solar.
Solar. Very good, Devin. Anyone else?
A dam.
A dam, yeah. So hydroelectric energy. Any others that anyone can think about? Have you ever gone to the gas station and seen a word called ethanol on any of the pumps?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a biofuel. It's added to a fossil fuel, but it is created from corn. So they grow corn, they ferment it, and then they distill alcohol out of it, and that is a biofuel. I'm going to pass out some worksheets, and on this worksheet, there are different fuel sources. Now the thing is if we're using different sources other than fossil fuels, why don't we just all switch? Why don't we just stop using fossil fuels and go with, say, hydroelectric or solar? Any ideas?
Solar is not that powerful.
Okay. I have here a list of different sources of power other than fossil fuels, and we've got pros and cons. What does pros and cons stand for?
Good and bad.
Thank you, Montana, the good and the bad. What alternative sources of power do we have listed here? You all can read.
Wind power, hydropower, biofuels.
Okay, so let's start with solar power. It's at the top. What are some of the pros of solar power? Sun, yeah. Now you've all seen that solar cells that we use to make different experiments with, right? Like when we made that eyeball model, we used a solar cell. What are some of the advantages of solar power over?
It controls the light around us.
Okay. So there's a lot of light is pretty abundant then.
Yes.
Light's all around us. Light's
It's
abundant
unlimited.
everywhere you go. Is the sun ever going to run out?
Nope.
As far as we're concerned?
No.
As far as we're concerned, solar power is virtually unlimited. The sun's always going to be there for us. Okay? Another advantage of solar power is no emissions. When you burn fossil fuels, you create gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide,
Going to make fire?
sulfur dioxide, different gases that aren't entirely healthy for us. Solar has no emission. Just 1 hour of daylight reaching the earth can supply the earth's power needs for 1 hour. The trick is converting as much of that power as possible. And that's where the cons come in. So what are some of the disadvantages of solar power?
It has low energy.
Converting all that light energy, we can't convert it very efficiently. Not a lot of energy there. Okay?
But it's
Another one is it costs a lot to make solar cells and solar plants. Let's go down to wind power. All right? You know what wind power is, right?
Windmills.
Windmills, exactly. Windmills. What are some of the advantages of windmills generating electricity?
Lots of wind.
Well, yeah, you can build them just about anywhere because there's wind just about anywhere. Some places have more wind than others. Is the wind never going to stop blowing?
Nope.
And another advantage of wind power is, once again, no emissions. It doesn't put out any toxic gases. Cons of wind power? Is the wind always blowing?
Yes. No.
No, it's unpredictable and takes lots of land. Hydropower. We went to that hydropower plant. What are some of the advantages of hydropower?
There's lots of water.
Lots of water, okay. It's more reliable than wind or solar. No emissions, no bad gas for hydroelectric power. Okay, some of the cons of hydropower.
We look at 1 more week. We might run out of water someday.
Well, that's a remote possibility, yes.
Lots of money.
And let's just go to the cons. High upfront costs, so impact on habitats. Obviously, the fish aren't very happy when the rivers are dammed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes the environment a lot when we build a dam, and it impacts animal habitats.
Okay.
Okay,
I know how to
another con of hydropower is there's only so many rivers. All the rivers that can be dammed pretty much have been dammed. We can't really build very many more dams. All the rivers around here have dams. Okay, on to biofuels. Biofuels is like when farmers grow crops like corn, sugar beets, soybeans, things like that, and convert them into fuel. Okay, so what would be one of the advantages of a biofuel where you just grow crops and turn them into fuel? Yes?
It doesn't take as long for crops to grow.
Okay.
It doesn't take millions of years.
Right, for fossil fuels, it takes millions of years to create fossil fuels, but you can grow crops in a season. So, and there's a lot of different crops that can be turned into biofuels. We got corn, we got sugar beets, potatoes can be turned into biofuels. Okay. What are some of the disadvantages of biofuels?
Hard. It's hard work.
Hard work? Okay, well everything's hard work. Drilling for oil is hard work.
I put hard work. Going to bed is hard watching TV. Yeah. So I put hard work down.
Okay. Well, if we're growing all our crops to make fuel out of, then what do we grow for food?
That makes it harder for other people to make electricity.
Not very much food.
Exactly. Growing crops for fuel competes with growing crops for food.
Not much food.
Yeah. So it's easier for other
And there's one other, we've talked about all the pros of all the other things. Everything that we talked about so far, solar power, wind power, hydropower, has no emissions. Biofuels, how do you get energy out of biofuels?
You have to grind them.
Well, when you go to the gas station and you put ethanol in your car, what does the car do to make it work?
It lights it on fire.
Exactly. So what's going to happen?
Light it on fire.
If solar power has no bad gas, wind power has no bad gas, hydropower has no bad gas.
It's going to release bad gas.
Thank you. Exactly.
Bad
So
gas.
of all these alternate sources, the ones on our list anyway, biofuels don't have the advantage of no bad gas. That's one of the cons. What did we learn about alternate power sources? That they have
advantages and disadvantages.
Thank you. And we have to take all of that into consideration as we develop different sources of power.
Alternate energy sources!
Paxton just looks bewildered.